Welcome to Homestead Lock. This is the pasta video I promised in one of the shorts on YouTube. This is a 3-hour process. Well, it took me 3 hours. Some of y'all might do it quicker. But I used Shelby tomatoes. I had about 17 pounds in this run. The previous ones I had 16. This is probably my 4th time this year making pasta sauce. You just put the tomatoes in the boiling water for 3 minutes until the skins peel apart, and then you put them in cold water. Ice water is good. They cool off quicker, so when you decore your tomatoes, they don't burn your hands. I've done it plenty of times. Well, it burns for a second, right? But after you do that, I just threw them in a jar until all of them were done. You get a lot more meat with these Shelby tomatoes. I got them from Haas, if you're wondering. I used to use other tomatoes, which they were good, but there's a lot more seeds to them. And the cores are thicker, so I feel like you get less tomato, to do your sauce with. But I blended this up with an immersion blender. It worked a lot better. I used to use a potato masher, actually. It worked, but I forgot who told me to use immersion blender, but it worked amazing this year, the first time I used one. And I'm going to end up using it to make my hot sauces too with my Tabasco peppers and cayenne peppers, but it's going to work out so much better. But it only took me about maybe 2 minutes to get it to the consistency I wanted, to where the potato masher it took forever. But anywho, after we mix this up, we just go to putting some seasoning in there. I did use Wagner seasoning right there. Pasta seasoning. I just bought it off Amazon. But I did also use some herbs from the garden. I have purple basil, green basil, oregano, parsley, and I just made an Italian mix after I dehydrated it, put it in a ball jar. I also have dill, which I got a pickle video coming soon. But I believe that I will put out the green bean pressure cannon video next. I'm doing this voiceover, and I'm telling you right now, it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be. Brand new to all this, so. But anywho, you boil the sauce to start, and then you let it simmer. I simmer mine for 30 minutes. I noticed that if you leave the top off as you simmer it, the sauce can get thicker. It will get thicker. I like my sauce a little thinner. It goes further, and then the time it takes to simmer the sauce, I get my cans ready, my ball jars ready, sanitize them. Then I put them on the counter. And I also sanitize the lids and the tops. And quart jars I did use this time because I was using pint jars, and I'd be using 2 pints when I make something with sauce in it. So I figured a quart jar would be good. This is the first time using the quart jar for the sauce. It's in this video. But after those are all set and out, you just go over and you leave. You fill up the jars with your sauce. You leave about 1 inch headspace, so it has room to expand when you're hot water bathing it. So you fill it up, and then you got to wipe the rims down on the jar with some 5% vinegar, so you don't get any bacteria growing in there or anything that make you sick. And then after you get all your jars filled up, and you leave in that 1 inch headspace, you can go ahead and put your lids and tops on. Oh, you gotta take the air out as well. Yes, this voiceover thing just ain't for me. I think I'll just start talking in the videos. It's a lot easier to explain it when you're doing it. But anyways, you take the air out of the video, out of the pasta sauce, so it doesn't explode when you drop it in there. And if it's not at a 1 inch headspace after this, you just put a little more sauce in and get it there. And then you can go ahead and wipe the rims down right there. Jars are going to be hot, so be careful on that. But get them all wiped off, and then you go ahead and throw the lids and tops on, lids and rings, and then you put them down in the water bath. Throw them in there, and then I put the lid on to let the jars heat up a little bit, because if you put the jars straight down in there, right, what happens is the jars can crack if they don't come to temp in the water bath. So we water bath them for 45 minutes, and after the 45 minutes, my gloves, I pulled up the strainer there, and we took them out, and then we let them rest overnight for 24 hours so they could get a good seal. And after they get the good seal, you're going to want to remove the rings and then store them that way. You don't store them with the rings on. You can get bacteria that grows in there and all that. So if they don't pop, you don't hear a pop after 24 hours, a ting, then you can just put it in your fridge and use it, within a week or two. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate it.